Palestinian militants from the armed group Hamas launched a surprise, coordinated attack on Israel by land, sea, and air on Saturday morning. With hundreds killed, the attack is the largest and deadliest in years, and prompted an Israeli declaration of war. Here's how it unfolded. At around 6:30 a.m., the attack began with a barrage of rockets. Shortly after the first reports of rocket fire, Hamas fighters entered Israel near the Kerem Shalom crossing, an important checkpoint between Israel and Gaza. The video released by Hamas shows its fighters breaching the border fence and attacking the military base there. Around the same time, Hamas fighters also raided and captured Israel's Erez border crossing station. Targeting checkpoints like these enabled Hamas to neutralize clusters of Israeli forces and spread into nearby towns with less resistance. By 7:30 a.m., Israelis began seeing groups of Palestinian militants arriving in towns and cities. The incursion fanned out into 9 towns near the border with Gaza. In the city of Sderot, Palestinian militants clashed in the streets with Israeli police and military. By late morning, Palestinian militants began destroying sections of the border barrier. What started as a small penetration of the Israeli border became a wide-open corridor. Soon, Palestinian militants began taking hostages in towns near the border with Gaza. Many hostages were taken back to Gaza and driven through the streets. By the afternoon, at least 200 Israelis were killed and more than 1,000 injured, mainly civilians. Israeli jets launched retaliatory strikes in Gaza, killing and injuring similar numbers of Palestinians. Hamas said their attacks were only the beginning of a long war.
Explosions rumbled through the night after Israel declared war on Hamas on Saturday. Hamas, a militant group from Gaza, coordinated an unprecedented attack early Saturday on Israel by land, air, and sea, shocking the country and the world.
מה שקרה היום לא נראה בישראל, ואני אדאג שזה לא יקרה יותר. נכה בהם עד חורמה, וננקום בעוצמה על היום השחור הזה שהם עוללו למדינת ישראל ולאזרחיה.
And a senior official in Hamas said Saturday's attacks are only the beginning of the conflict. Though Israel and Hamas have been entangled in a decades-long conflict in Gaza, here's why this attack is different and what it could mean for Israelis and Palestinians. Hamas says it is dedicated to building an independent Palestinian state. The group controls the Gaza Strip, a densely populated Palestinian enclave that, for years, has been under Israeli blockade. The last major conflict between Hamas and Israel was in 2021, in which more than 250 people in Gaza and 14 in Israel were killed. The attacks only stopped after 11 days, when Egypt brokered a ceasefire. Saturday's attack holds deep significance for Israel, as the country has just marked 50 years after the Yom Kippur War. Though caught by surprise, Israeli soldiers fought Saturday evening to regain control and expel militants from local towns and villages.
החמאס פתח במלחמה אכזרית ומרושעת. אנחנו ננצח במלחמה הזאת, אבל המחיר כבד מנשוא.
The United States stands with the people of Israel in the face of these terrorist assaults. Israel has the right to defend itself and its people. This is not a moment for any party hostile to Israel to exploit these attacks to seek advantage. The world is watching.
Rockets fired from Gaza lit up the sky Saturday night. Israeli forces used their Iron Dome air defense to intercept and destroy the rockets. The death toll from the initial attack remains unclear, as Israel scrambles to assess the situation. The UN said at least 20,000 people in Gaza have been displaced from their homes as of Saturday.